For those of you that haven't been up to date with the news, North Korea blinked. They've decided in their infinite wisdom not to shoot missiles at America. I was rather hoping they would. Because then we're going to make North Korea a fucking car park, a fucking parking lot, and kill every motherfucker in the country. We don't have snowflakes in Washington anymore. I may not love everything Donald does, but he would have made North Korea a motherfucking car park. He follows QLA. The Art of the Deal, which I've never read, which is a best-selling book from 30 years ago, is QLA. You're going to learn in the next week, this transformational week, to run towards the gunfire and kill every motherfucker on the site. I can't be any more graphic. We have a number of tree huggers in the group. Most of you are snowflakes. That's too bad. We have a very high dropout rate during the 1 year free. Is that somebody's phone? Turn it off before I shove it up your ass. That's not fair enough. I'm not asking for your fucking validation, moron. And if your phone goes off in the seminar, as Allah, Buddha, and God is my witness, I will take the motherfucker and ram it down your fucking throat, whether you're a man or a woman. Test me. Back to, there'll be a lot of you that aren't here a year from now. Because you can't stand up to accountability. You can't stand up to taking responsibility. We had 3 morons come in late, and one said, no excuse. Fucking idiot. Unless you're dead or in a motherfucking coma. Not your mother dead, not your daughter's coma, assholes, but your fucking coma. There are no excuses. That's the real world that I come from. Not the fucking pissant one that you come from. The reason why we're having a seminar so close in, next month and a few days after this one is because the demand was so motherfucking overwhelming. I didn't want them to wait because I didn't know when the next one would be, and I knew that I had some time, so we're going to have it the first few days of September. So there's no shortage in people that want to come here and get the fuck knocked out of them. What does that say? No, what it says is, even though you're 19, 20, or 30, or 52, this is your last fucking hurrah, kids. There ain't going to be any more. For the kids that are 19 and 20, you realize that. The great thing about the internet is you know that the world's fucked up, and you realize how fucked up you are early on. It doesn't take you normally till 52. We have medical doctor. We have a couple of PhDs. And we have a couple of uneducated kids. And they're all in the same boat. You're all miserable where you stand. The good news is you admit it, and you're here. The good news is you admit it. Some of you have saved years to get here. I'm going to treat you no different than the guys that just wrote a check. I put out on social media a couple of days ago, I was going to answer a few questions. I'm going to answer them ad nauseum during the seminar, but I'm going to answer them here for the beginning. I'm so tough because it works. Full stop, end of story. If toughness works, and as I put out on social media about Korea, when Secretary Mad Dog Mattis said, if they shoot anything at us, game's on. Because adults are in the White House now. Not like President Obama says, I'm going to draw a red line here. And we acted like a cunt. And when I say cunt, I mean you're a coward, not a female part of the anatomy. You were raised by cunts. They were raised by cunts. I.e., ergo, hence, you're a cunt. And I don't want to be the alpha male role model you never had. I need more kids like I need fucking AIDS. But I will show you, before you played financial instrument by financial instrument, I'm going to show you how to play the whole motherfucking orchestra. Whether you decide to do it, sweet pea, or not, it's up to you. I will not try to hurt you, but I will. I will try not to embarrass you, but I will. Because you've led a bubble-wrapped life, and that's why the fuck you're here. This is your last chance. There aren't any more. There aren't any more. Now, starting tomorrow, like the 3 Nimrods that were late, or 4 actually, the whole class will suffer. The whole motherfucking class is going to suffer. So already you have no gym privileges for tomorrow. Because of the 3 morons. Actually 4. There was a black guy that slipped in, tried to slip in the back. Raise your hand. The guy caught coming down the stairs. Okay, that moron there. If you're late to class, no gym. We may not give you lunch. You can use a few meals lost anyway, tub of shit. Tonight is the only night you don't have written homework. Be prepared to talk about what you're going to see after dinner. Every night is written homework. Some nights, all days I'll collect it. But some nights, some days, I won't focus back on it. Now, I know you already know this. But just so to make sure it's crystal clear, I am the only person you've ever met in your whole entire miserable little life that doesn't give a shit what you think about me. In fact, if I have 1 million people on Twitter, I have failed. Now, there's a couple of guys who I have some respect for that are saying they're not trying to build a big social media accounts. They want to build a legacy. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. If I get too many more than 10,000, 11,000 on Twitter, I'm failing. I get 50, 80, 200 signed up a day, and I get 50, 80, 200 deletes a day. Because they've read some of my tweets. Now, why do I keep posting the same shit over and over on social media? Because you're retarded! And I don't mean that against anybody that's disabled. You're retarded. That's why I keep putting the same information over and over and over. Because it doesn't get your thick melon heads. And why do I keep saying the same thing? Because it's the only things that matter, sweet pea. All the rest is bullshit. I told one of the young kids today that came in, Bradley, where are you? Now, that kid's been following me since he's 15. How old are you now? 19. He's long in the tooth now. There's a couple of you in this room that have got an attitude. I can smell it, but I can also smell death. 99.99% of the deals that you got on your papers don't work. One almost works by serendipity, by accident. You wouldn't know a deal if a bitch in the groin. And you wonder why you are where you are. Another thing that I said on social media, vis-a-vis I'm not going to be the ambassador of love or joy, ever. You know how these actors, when they retire, like a couple of the James Bond, and they're ambassador of something to UNICEF and stuff. That's not me, kids. That ain't going to happen. I am the Darth Vader of high-performance coaching. Some people say I'm the Antichrist. Some people say I'm the devil. Be that as it may, you're here for the next week, for those of you that make the week. We have people quit tonight. In the past. The best time that they quit is normally the third or fourth night. There are dumb questions. If you're not prepared, if you didn't read all that shit that I told you to read, you're going to have a problem this week. And I know most of you didn't read it. And that's why you don't have a pot to piss in, nor a window to throw it out today. That's why you're fucking poor. If I was going to spend time with a Costa Grazos, which I did, or Warren Buffett, which I haven't, and he gave me a list of shit to read, Dan, come prepared. No, he wouldn't even say that. He gave me a list of shit to read. I would have read it. So ask yourselves why you didn't. Why? Because most of you are pretending. Most of you, this 20 grand, plus or minus, was wasted money. Because you're only pretending. Because you want to be a high-performance person. If I do nothing more for you than to dissuade you from the QLA trek, I will consider it successful. If you're late tomorrow, the class will suffer. If you're late for a break, the class will suffer. Not you, the class. And if you're late too often, and that is up to me, you're out. You'll go home. If you're not prepared for homework that's written, you go home. There are no exceptions. None. Because obviously you're not in a coma. Where's the medical doctor? Okay. Well, you can help. Maybe you can bring them out of a coma. I don't know enough about that. I know that there are self-induced comas. They put you in a coma. That's what these kids need. That's what these kids need. But they've really been in a self-induced coma all their lives. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, class starts in the pavilion, which is a big building down there, about 150 meters. Breakfast is at 7 o'clock. Don't be late. If you get tired during the day because some of you are cunts and you suffer from jet lag, I told them not to wake you up. But anyway, stand up. And that's why the people stand in class. Because if you fall asleep during class, it'll be the worst motherfucking day of your life. The least of which you have to worry about is me telling you to go home. Now, back in the 90s, it used to hit kids. And back in the 90s, they weren't snowflakes, and nobody went to the police and complained because they had balls. I had a black belt woman standing right about here, dancing around, and I hit her. But now you hit somebody, they take you to court. I'd like to hit you just on general principles, Four Eyes. And if you think I still can't hit at 72, you're wrong. Let's go eat.